So today we're going to talk about the Marvel What If Season 2, Episode 1 and Episode 2. What can I say about it? It's Marvel. They're going to go ahead and destroy the characters you love to build up characters that are okay. Now, as far as Nebula goes, she is a decent character. Great design for a character becoming a human or an alien into a android. In this, Thanos dies with Gamora, and Nebula is left alive. And she gets to go ahead and be swooped up by the Nova Corps. Well, the only reason that she is alive and Thanos is dead is because Ronan turned his back, killed Thanos, and has the same kind of world eater mentality. Destroy all, rebuild it in his image. Well, she's on the Nova Corps planet, and here comes Ronan. So they have to walk down the planet. They have a shield that goes up for 50 years. In the first 5 years in, Yondu dies. And she's a cop, basically, because that's what Nova Corps is. So she goes ahead and gets to find out what's going on, looking for the killer of Yondu. The other guys show up from Nova Corps, like, oh, you're a crap cop, get out of here, blah, blah, blah. So she's going to look for some clues. And she ends up going to a casino, which you see Groot dealing some cards, you see Drax breaking some shit, and then Howard the Duck owns the club. I love some Howard the Duck, okay? Howard the Duck is a great character. It's freaking awesome. But anyways, so he owns this club, and he has some information that can help Gamora out. He ends up providing her some information to get some guy that was a prisoner that's going to help her get into this computer to find out what's going on and who killed Yondu. Man, it's just a really, complicated story of, I'm going to go break this prisoner out to break into this place. It's not... Gamora can just pretty much hack... Or not Gamora. Nebula can hack into pretty much any computer because she has the ability to, but this computer that she needs to get into, she has to touch, they have to connect, hook up some stuff. She's downloading everything. The guy she helps ends up turning her back on her. She wakes up, Nova Corps there. The lady who saved her is the one who betrayed her. I guess Yondu didn't dick her down good enough. This is my edit of it. It's not what really happened, but I'm guessing Yondu didn't like this lady, and he got tired of it, and he went back to banging aliens. So that's the only logical point, because that's what Marvel always does. Or maybe she wanted Yondu to become a woman, because that's what Marvel does. That's where we're at with Marvel. That's how I feel about it. This whole thing gets wrapped up. I kind of just drug off the end. I don't know. It was okay. It looked pretty. It reminded me of some classic Blade Runner. Now, episode 2. We're going to go into episode 2 because I watched them back to back. Now, this is about Peter Quill hitting into Earth in 1988. So we don't get the modern day characters. We get a little bit back 20, 30 years, 40 years ago when we had, what is it? Giant Man, Ant-Man, that's Hank Pym, Tony's dad. Winter Soldier was there because, well, he doesn't age like everybody else, and he's an assassin. Some Captain Marvel lady was there. Thor makes an appearance. And they all have to stop Peter Quill. Peter Quill has the power of his father. Instead of Yondu not delivering Peter in the What If series, he actually delivers Peter to his father, Ego. Ego then turns Peter into a Celestial and has the ability to help control him and destroy everything. Well, Peter decided to go back home. He wanted to see his mom. And come to find out, he just starts destroying everything when he hits the ground. And the only way he gets like knocked out, and they put him in a container, and they contain him. Well, it was Thor who knocked him out. They end up going ahead and containing the kid, Peter, and Hank's daughter ends up taking the Ant-Man gun, shrinking the cell down, taking Peter, running off and opening up the door and letting him out, because she got to know Peter, and Peter's like, oh, I just want to go home to Missouri. And they're like, you let out a bad guy. He's not, where's he going? And she's like, he wants to go home, hang out, and go back to his mom. So he ends up going back to Missouri. And long story short, they find the seed they need to help destroy Ego. This was a better episode. I'm going to leave it there. That was a better episode. It seems like they're doing a Guardians of the Galaxy What If series, the first 2 episodes. It's not bad at all. It's a great show. The episode 2 was. It had great animation. Now, if we're going to compare it to like DC stuff, DC's animation back when they had the direct-to-DVD Justice Leagues, Flash movies, Superman, Constantine, those were way better because there was a lot more deaths, a lot more blood and violence. They were aimed towards adults. They weren't just aimed towards kids. They had, they had repercussions. This series was an ongoing series. It started at one point and ended off back at the Flash having to run around and spin the world back. I don't know what Marvel's doing with this What If series. They're not using comic book stuff. It's okay. The second one was the only decent one. I don't know about the first one. I'm going to say a thumbs down, 1 out of 1 for episode 1, 5 out of 5 for episode 2.
Click here to subscribe.